share this with you. So as I was saying, emotions are a little trickier because sometimes, or maybe often, we are not able to identify what emotion we would feel when we have the thing or achieve the goal or the desire, the manifestation that we need to achieve. And last but definitely not the least, beliefs. Beliefs are often, in my experience, the most difficult barrier because very often we don't even know some of the beliefs that we may be having which are holding us back. And that I believe is, well, that I know is the biggest barrier to manifestation. And in my experience, this is the increasing order of difficulty because you can think of something fairly easily. You usually more often than not know the action that you need to take to make that manifestation a reality. Emotions are a little trickier, but you can get there, especially depending on what is it that you're trying to manifest. If you've experienced this sometimes briefly in your life and you want to experience that and reach that as a more permanent state of being, you have a sense of what that feels like. Or if it's something brand new, it might be difficult. But usually we use emotions such as gratitude or joy. Those are, I call them proxy emotions, which even though you may not know specifically exactly how you will feel, you know that at some level you will feel gratitude, or you will feel joy, or you will feel peace or calm, or whatever you're looking for. Beliefs, I believe, I know, are the most difficult because many times you're not even aware of the beliefs that are holding us back because they're deeply buried within our subconscious. Now, we all know who this famous gentleman is, and his equation E equal to mc squared is not only widely known in the scientific world, it's widely known in the normal ordinary world as well. And and what essentially Mr. Albert Einstein um, he told us is that energy and mass are the same. So matter and energy are basically interchangeable. Everything is energy, which basically means everything is energy. And and that essentially means that, and we know this in the spiritual world as in the work that we do, that everything around us is basically just energy and frequency. But what he probably didn't mention is something that we in the spiritual world and this work are familiar with, that energy in motion is called what we call emotion. And what does that mean? Think of it this way. You have a thought, and based on that thought, you have a feeling, you have an emotion. The moment you have the emotion, you have movement happening in your body, within your body. You have certain specific hormones that are being ejected. You have muscles tightening up. You have, your various organs and your various systems starting to function in a certain way. For example, if you feel fear, if you are afraid of something, or if you feel stressed, blood literally flows to your extremities so that you are ready to fight or ready to run, right? So your muscles at the extremities, your hands and legs become stronger. And that is literally chemicals and cells are moving and chemical reactions are happening just based on an emotion, right? Conversely, if you feel love, peace, calm, you're in flow, in the moment, in the present moment, what you feel is then blood flows to your heart. It moves away from your extremities. Your body knows that it's not, now you're safe. You don't need to run. You don't need to hide. You don't need to fight. So then the blood flows to the organs which are meant for creation, mostly to the heart, to the brain. So just based on an emotion, you're actually having experiences, and there are physical and chemical changes happening within our body just based on an experience. So essentially what I want to present to you is that based on E equal to mc squared, based on what Einstein said, energy creates our 3D reality. Everything around us is energy. Emotions focus our energy. If you feel fright, you feel fear, your energy is focused in a certain way within your body, within your mind. If you feel calm, peace, love, energy focuses in a different way. Which means that emotions literally manifest our 3D reality, because through our emotions, we're able to create physical and chemical changes within our body and also outside our body. That is what manifestation to me is all about. That if you can feel the right emotions fully, then we can actually manifest both within and without, within our body, within our souls, and outside as well, in our external environment. Now, but then what about beliefs? So because I mentioned that beliefs are the most difficult and the sneakiest of them all, right? So let's look at what beliefs are. Let's try to put some definition on beliefs, right? So the way I look at it, beliefs are thoughts, but which are programmed deep within our subconscious, right? They are nothing but just a thought, if you think about it. And those thoughts are usually based on our personal experience with our outside world, with our starting with our parents. Those are the first human beings that we encounter as soon as we are born, most of the time. Friends, society, work, relationships, etc. All of these external factors, these external environmental factors, create these thoughts consistently on a consistent basis, especially during our formative years when our brains, studies have shown that till the age of 8 or 9, our brains are either in theta or the alpha state, which is super receptive, super suggestible, right? Whatever we experience during those years, we tend to retain in a more permanent way. It's deep within our subconscious, and oftentimes we are not even aware of those thoughts and emotions. And then every belief has an emotion associated with it, right? So whenever we have a belief, a thought in general, a thought is followed by an emotion. You have a thought, you have a feeling about it, whether it's a good feeling or a bad feeling or a neutral feeling. But there is seldom a thought without an emotion. If the thought doesn't have an emotion associated with it, the thought, in my experience, it dissipates. It doesn't stay with you forever, for a long time. The only way a thought can survive within you is if it has an emotion associated with it. And the stronger the emotional charge, the longer that thought stays with you, that more permanent it is within you, right? And every belief has an emotion associated with it. The stronger the emotional charge of the belief, the stronger that belief is, the stronger and longer it stays within you. And oftentimes it's not even aware. It's beneath your level of conscious awareness. And here's the kicker for me specifically. Every belief has a reason associated with it, right? There is a reason, there's a justification, because if a belief has an emotional charge, and that belief has to have a reason to stay within your subconscious. So, and those are the justifications that we give ourselves whenever we are trying to do something and we feel that something is supposed to happen or not supposed to happen, because we use the word because a lot, because every belief has a reason associated with it. Now, let's look at some examples here. I want to start with some things which I call self-limiting beliefs. And I have a list here that are personally I have experienced, but I want you to go through these and see if if you can identify with them, if they resonate with you, or there might be other beliefs similar to these that might resonate with you. But these are some that I wanted to read out. I'm not able to heal because I'm not worthy of love, because nothing ever works out for me, because I always mess up everything, because I have no control over my life, because abundance is hard to come by for me, because no one will ever care about what I have to offer, because, and this last one was specifically for me, because I had this belief for a long time that whatever I want to offer to the world has already seen it in some shape or form, so I have nothing new to offer. Um, do any of these or anything similar resonate with any of you? If it does, feel free to put something in the chat or give me a thumbs up. I want to know if this is something that is resonating with you all. Thank you, Marina. Anybody else? Any comments? Feel free to write in the chat. Feel free to give a thumbs up. Thank you, Laura. Okay. Now, moving on. Now, I want to talk about positive beliefs for others. How many of us have felt that we are not able to do something, but we see or we watch testimonials and somebody else has achieved the exact same thing that we've been trying to achieve, and we feel that that person could have done this because, there's something special about them, but not about me. Has that resonated with any of you at all at any point of time while you've been on this journey, or any other time at all in your life? Because it has definitely resonated with me many times, because I've seen so many testimonials, and I've seen so many people achieve great things, and you listen to their interviews and their podcasts, and they say, oh, you know what, we started with nothing, or I started with nothing. I had nothing when I got through this, and I went through all these adversities, and I feel, oh my God, he did that or she did that, but I don't think I can do it, right? Or he did it because there's something special about him or her, but not about me, right? Laura says yes. Okay, Heather says, my beliefs don't tend to be so 100-0. Okay, yes. Yes, that's a good point, Laura. Yes, it's a much more conscious and belief that I can heal. There's a subtle feeling of doubt. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Lots of yeses. Thank you, Laura, Genevieve, Marina. Yes, Heather, that's a great point. It's subtle. It's not so 100-0, but you're right. And that's why because if it's 100-0, then it's easier to fight it, isn't it? But if it's more subtle, and that's why beliefs are so sneaky, and they have a survival instinct. Everything in this universe wants to survive. There's nothing negative or positive inherently. It's just definitions we give them. But a belief or a thought or an emotion, whatever it is, needs to survive. And to survive, it'll use whatever tricks it can to survive. And oftentimes, if it's 100-0, then it's easier for us to know that this is something wrong, and it's easier for us to drop the habit or drop the belief. But if it's more subtle, then you got to work around it. So let's look at some positive beliefs which are directly corollary to the negative beliefs, that self-limiting beliefs we have, right? So Jenny, or some person, whatever name, she was able to heal her condition because, right? And there's some justification we give. Oh, I can't do it, but she was able to do it because she was able to find her true love because, but yeah, it's not for me. I know why I'm not able to do it, because I have all of these reasons, but she was able to do it because he was successful. He is successful in whatever he does because, yeah, he's a great guy, or he's got this great charisma, or he's done this course, or he's living in this place, or he's got this personality or whatever. But I can't do it because I'm not him. He is always on top of things because he's so productive, he is so structured, he is so disciplined, he's so consistent. I can't do it because I'm none of those things. And again, these are the kind of thoughts that people might have. I've had these many times. I just want to lay these out there, and I want to make sure and I want to see if any of these similar thoughts resonate with you as well. She's able to achieve her goals because, again, because she's so driven, she's so ambitious, she's so focused, she knows exactly what she wants. And I don't know what I want in life. I have no clue. I'm not that good at uh, following through my goals. I don't even know. My goals keep changing all the time. I set goals today and tomorrow my goals shift. I don't know. But she is so focused. Good for her. I wish I could be like her, on and on and on. Money flows to him easily because, well, he's just so lucky, or he knows how to manage money. He knows how exactly what to do. He's so charismatic. It's amazing. The universe supports him. The universe loves him. The universe is all about, he was born with a golden goose, or he was, on a silver platter. Oh, I can't do it because lots of reasons. And everybody loves what he or she has to offer because, well, she's just a wonderful person, just a great speaker, wonderful salesperson. I can't do it because I hate selling to people. I hate going and talking to people about stuff that I've created. Nobody's gonna care what I have to offer. It's just, I don't like that feeling, right? Any of these resonate with any of you at all? Or anything similar that you've thought about yourself as compared to other people? Because quite a few of these are all from my experience. Yeah. So, moving on. Let's look at this in a little bit more of a formulaic way, like a formula. So let's say we have these positive thoughts, right? So there's something we want to create, something we want to change, and we have a positive thought about it, right? Which is easy. As we talked about it, thoughts are easy. I want to be fit. I want to create the perfect relationship. I want to heal 100%. I want abundance. I want to, want a certain amount of money, or I want to create a create a different form of abundance or whatever, right? It's easy to think about things. Now, thoughts, as we said, every thought has an emotion. So thoughts lead to elevated emotions. So when we think about something, and this is something most of us, especially if you're following Dr. Joe Dispenza's work and we are doing his work, we know he talks a lot about elevated emotions. So thoughts lead to elevated emotions. But there's also the limiting belief with the thought. Let's say there's a thought of saying, okay, I want to heal 100% from whatever condition that I'm suffering from. But then there's a limiting belief. It says, but are you sure this is possible? Everybody's saying maybe it's not possible. You've tried so long and nothing is really happening. You meditated for so long. You're doing all this work. You're eating healthy, whatever all the modalities that you're following, but nothing's really happening. So are you sure? So that's your limiting belief. And the limiting belief leads to negative emotions, right? You don't feel good about it because during meditation, and this has happened to me many times, I'm sitting in a meditation and I'm getting into the elevated emotions and I'm getting into that space. And then a limiting belief thought comes in, and I can feel the energy kind of draining away from me. And then I try harder to feel the elevated emotions, but the harder you try, the worse it gets. So here's what I want to tell you. Positive thoughts minus the limiting beliefs is basically the beliefs of your success. So you might want to heal, you might want $1 million, or you might want the perfect relationship. But the belief, how successful do you think you will be? That belief is basically based on this formula. And that results in the emotion. So how much positive emotion can you feel about what you're trying to manifest? That is based on this residue, right? So that's the way this works. And this emotion, now we talked about emotion being energy in motion. So that an emotion that you have, the residual emotion that is left over after the limiting beliefs takes away from the and creates those negative emotions that takes away from the elevated emotions, that is the net energy you have for creation, which results in the motivation to take action. Because remember, we're all in this 3D world, right? We've come to this 3D reality. Even though we're sitting and creating, we're trying to create opportunities for ourselves. When we create from 5D, as Dr. Joe Dispenza says, what we're saying is we're trying to create situations, opportunities, synchronicities, but we still have to take action. But for any action, we need energy. Motivation essentially is how much energy do you have for that action? If you think about it, most of the time when we feel demotivated, it's just we're physically and emotionally tired. We just don't want to do it. And the reason is because we don't have the energy to do it, emotional and physical. That is, that's basically where, how your limiting beliefs and the negative emotions takes away from whatever positive thoughts and elevated emotions you have. And what's left behind is the energy. And sometimes that energy is just not enough for us to take the actions we need to make our manifestations, our dreams, our goals come true in 3D reality. Right? I'm going to give a short pause here to see if anybody has any comments, any thoughts, any questions before we move on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's move on. Perfect. So now let's look at this net energy, right? This is key. This is what we need for creating our desired future, our reality, whatever we are trying to manifest. Now, this net energy can be increased by one, increasing the elevated emotion. Remember, it's elevated emotion minus limiting belief, negative emotion, right? So we can increase the elevated emotion, continue to practice, get better at meditating, get better at believing in our future, get better at feeling the emotions of the future through practice, regular meditations. I call it brute force practice, and I've done that, and I'm still doing that as part of my meditation practice. And I don't recommend that anybody should stop it if you're doing it already, because that's just one way. Just keep getting better and better and better at believing in yourself, right? The second one is decreasing limiting beliefs. And I've tried this too, and I think this is trickier because oftentimes, as I said, you're not even aware of the limiting beliefs you have inside you. And sometimes they come up and they surprise you, and you realize you never thought that something your parents said when you were 5 years old is the reason why you are behaving in the way you are today, or the reason you believe in something that you should not believe, for example, right? Or something that a significant other in a previous life did something to you, or said something to you, or made you feel a certain way, which is the reason why you are behaving the way you are today, and not in the way you want to behave, right? But those take a lot of, sometimes even years of deep inner work, lots of kinds of energy healing, and those are also very, very real work that people do, um, to identify these hidden self-limiting beliefs that are embedded deep within the subconscious, right? The third one is allowing others to believe for you, right? Because here's the thing that I've experienced for myself specifically, and I've seen for others as well. The limiting beliefs that I have about myself, others don't have that. And I'll give you a specific example. And some of you might be aware, I have a coherence healing group. It's got over 360 members right now. We do coherence healings twice a week. And I've been doing this for almost a year now. But before I started the group, I never thought that I was even worthy enough to start a group and to do coherence healings, right? And it happened by accident. It was really, synchronicities. There was a person who was ill, and I thought, you know what, a friend of mine, and I said, well, I can gather a group of friends and do a coherence healing for her. just for her. And she, out of the generosity of her heart, she had a group, and she said, "Why don't you put this out to my entire group so that if anybody else also wants to join as a Healy, can do it?" And that happened, and then that I did that, and three other people raised their hands saying, "I want to be part of the group too. I want to be a Healy as well." And I remember the first healing session had more Healys than healers. There were, I think, four healers and there were five Healys. And I just did that. And all the time I was so not nervous. Nervous is not the right word. Nervous is not a bad is fine. Everybody's nervous when they're doing something new. I just felt like an imposter. I had a big imposter syndrome. But later, when I told that to my friends and I asked them how the session was, they said it was wonderful and you did a great job. And they didn't feel at all that I was not worthy enough to do this. And since then, there have been many other situations like this where I have felt like I don't deserve to do something or I felt like an imposter, but other people have believed in me and said, "No, we see you can do this completely." And I've seen the reverse as well. There are other people who feel like they're not capable, or not capable is also not the right word. They believe that they shouldn't be doing something because there is some self-limiting belief that holds them back. But I don't see that in them. So that's the whole idea of this manifestation circle, where we can help others who don't believe in our self-limiting beliefs, who don't see those inside us, to give us the energy so that we can increase this net energy that is available for creation for our own manifestation goals and desires, right? So that's the idea of this manifestation circle. It's a safe space where we help each other overcome our deepest blocks. And the interesting thing is we don't even need to know what the blocks are. I don't need to know what somebody else thinks of himself or herself. All I know is I believe wholeheartedly that whatever that person wishes to achieve, he or she can achieve it. And I believe that. Wholeheartedly send that person my love and my energy. That's it. We believe for others what they may not believe for themselves. And we hold each other's goals with love and give them energy for manifestation. And we also want to spend time to get to know each other, form the connections, share stories, which makes the experience a lot more powerful, and the process much more powerful. Okay, that's the idea of the manifestation circle. I'm going to pause here again. Any questions, thoughts, comments, monologues, anything that you have, or if you want to type in the chat, feel free to do so as well. Five, four, three, 3.5, 2, 1. All right. Awesome. Now, we know about the brain. We know about the brainwave states. We know that there are, let's see. Yes. Oh, Heather. Thank you, Heather. Yes, I agree. And Amelia, yes. And I did the wrong fraction, by the way. It should have been 2.5 after 3. I did 3.5. So I realized that after I said it, but thank you. Okay. So I think most of us know about the beta, alpha, of different brainwave states, but I'll just briefly recap. Most of the time when we are in our daily lives, day-to-day lives, we are in a beta brainwave state, right? Where we are just analytically figuring out our world, whatever we need to do, how we need to interact with people, our goals, our work, everything. When we calm down, when we sit down and relax, close our eyes, and slow down our brain waves, maybe through meditation or through some other practice, or even when we lie down to sleep, to rest, and we are just kind of closing our eyes and getting into the sleep state. That's when we are in the alpha brainwave state. And that is kind of when we are starting getting into our subconscious. And then when we start getting deeper into our meditative states, deeper into the meditation, when we're really kind of losing our focus on the outside world, that's when we start getting into the deeper theta brainwave state, which is even slower. Whereas you see, these are the different frequencies of the brainwaves. So 13 to 30 hertz is when our brainwaves are in beta. Usually we are functioning in the real world. Right now, when you're listening to this lecture and we're talking and we're thinking, you're in the beta brainwave state. Then we move into the alpha when we are in the meditative states. We are still relaxed, but we are aware and we are feeling peace and calm and love, and we're slowing down. And that's when we start getting into our subconscious. And then theta is when we're in deep relaxation. And that's when subconscious reprogramming can really happen, right? And if people who have been meditating, you might have experienced this states. I've definitely experienced both alpha and theta, and I'm just in so deep that I don't even know um, what's going on. And if I'm doing a guided meditation, I don't know what the person said, but I always come out. I know I'm not asleep because I always come out of the meditation at the right time. Just before the meditation ends, I'm out and I'm back in consciousness, so which means that I wasn't asleep. It's not that I fell asleep. I was conscious at a certain level, but I was deep into my subconscious. And if I fell asleep, then I probably would have just fell asleep. And so these are the two states which are extremely ideal for manifestation because they're very suggestible. And what I want to present to you here, and I want to use this, as as an example, and I've done it in the previous master classes as well. This is an app which uses visuals and audio to help induce the trance-like state, and it superimposes the manifestation goal that the person has on these visuals, so that you get both the visual, where you see your manifestation written there clearly, and you see an image or a picture of yourself or something else that you want to manifest, and you're also having the sound and the visuals behind to really get you deeper into that experience and to really pull you in and pull you into the subconscious where manifestation, um, which is ripe for any kind of manifestation. So if you're up for it, we can do a demo. And now I know one person had reached out to me. I had asked for volunteers. One person had reached out to me. I don't know if she's here or not. Who wanted to be a target for manifestation, where she said that you would have a particular manifestation. Marina, would you like to be? Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, hang on a second. All right, so let me stop the share and let me start the app, and then Marina, we can maybe you can come off of mute and we can talk together. Let me just give me 1 second. All righty. Can all of you see my screen? Yes? Okay. All right, Marina, would you mind coming off of mute? We can have a conversation.
Yes,
Hello, how are you, Marina?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. And thank you for volunteering and raising your hand.
Yeah, I thank you.
Okay. So, Marina, what I would like us to do right now is to have a small conversation about what is it that you want to achieve. And I will paraphrase that with your help. I will create a manifestation that I will type here. Okay. And once we are comfortable with that, um, we will then we will start the process. Does that work for you?
Okay, it's
Okay.
perfect.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So I'll hand it over to you. What is it that you are trying to manifest? And if you have any limiting beliefs around that, you can talk about that too.
Okay, so I what I want to have clear in my mind it's the mission, which way I should go with many things that I do, because I do things related to health and especially to emotional health. Some physical, but mainly emotional, which I like most. So I'm a coach, life coach, executive, if I'm asked. I am batch remedy practitioner. I don't know if any of you are used with the batch remedy. There are flower remedies, pure natural, working on on emotions. And then lately I made pranic healing training, many. And beside this, I organize events.
Nice.
And I want to focus on what my mission is. And I want to see very clear which is this mission
Okay.
out
So
of
you,
everything I do.
I see. So if I were to paraphrase, what you are saying is there are lots of interest areas that you have, and you're doing all of them together, and you are juggling a lot of different things, but you want to know, you want clarity in your heart. What is it that you should focus on?
Yes.
Okay. Is there, and how do you, what is it that you see in an ideal scenario? What is your, if you were to, when you do your meditations, or if you close your eyes and if you see the future Marina, how do you see her in the best possible way? How do you see her?
I see just supporting people in overcoming their emotional status.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah,
I'm going to
because
try.
I want people to be healthy. I want people to know how to be healthy, how to heal themselves, and I have some tools I can teach them. But mainly, I don't want to address physical um, issues, but emotional, because I believe everything comes from emotion into physical body.
100%. Okay. So I'm going to start writing something, writing a manifestation, and we can craft this together, right? So if
Okay,
I'm going to write something, if you want to change something, let me know and we can do that live, right?
okay.
So, all right. Let's see. Oops. Wait a second. Marina is clear about how to help. Oh, let's see. Okay. full clarity on how to help people with their emotional well-being. Is that something that resonates for you?
Yes. But can you put has, not had,
Yes,
full
I
clarity?
realize that. Yes.
And I would like to um, replace help with support.
Okay.
Okay.
Does that does that resonate for you?
Yes. And can you put my full name, Marina Laura,
Yeah,
please? I
of
understood
course.
I might use both of them.
Of course. This is your manifestation, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does that resonate for you? Anything else? Anything? Does that when you see that, does that
Hmm.
create an emotional response for you?
I would add emotional well-being for um, to sustain a holistic
Okay.
wellness.
So Marina Laura has full clarity on how to support people with their emotional well-being or
For their holistic,
for their holistic growth.
yes.
Okay, we there's a 100-word limit because if it's too long, then it gets
Okay. Okay. Let's see.
with their
Yes.
holistic emotional growth.
Just for holistic. Let put holistic well-being.
Yes,
Yeah. Get is
okay,
better.
that's better. Okay.
Yeah.
Just looking at the chat. Emilia, yeah, actually, so the idea is we are doing Laura's now, Marina Laura's manifestation now, and if we have time, we can do one more, because this is a 1.5 hour masterclass, so we won't have time for everybody. But the idea is, um, there's a we'll talk about that. I'm thinking of a 3 week program where everybody will get this opportunity. But right now, our idea is to support Marina. Imagine her achieving this manifestation and sending her energy. And we're going to do a short meditation right now based on that, using this tool. Um, Marina, do you think you have any limiting belief around being able to achieve this? Is there any reason why you think that you may not have been able to do this, or are you
Yeah.
100%?
It's
Yes.
one is lack of self trust, self confidence.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Based on stories that you've told yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? But I
Yeah.
we don't believe in that. We don't believe that you have any lack of self-confidence, I think. And that is the idea for all of us who are here. When we do this, just imagine Marina being able to achieve this, because we don't believe she has any lack of self-confidence. She raised her hand to do this in this group. I don't see that as a lack of self-confidence at all. It takes a lot of courage to do this, in a group like this. So thank you. I appreciate that, Marina, for raising your
Yeah.
hand and volunteering. Okay, so we will start the meditation. Essentially, I will guide you through the process. If at any point the music is too loud or you're not able to hear my voice or something, just write in the chat to let me know, and I will adjust the volumes, because sometimes the volumes can be a little finicky. But I will talk through over the music in the background. Hopefully, you'll be able to hear both well enough. And let me stop the background music for now. Okay, and let me see. Let me select the right music because I know I have a preference for the ones that I like. Okay, and I'll see you all on the other side. Thank you, everybody, for being here today to support Marina's beautiful vision, to prepare ourselves to support her vision. I want you to stare into this beautiful kaleidoscope. Is this better now? Can you hear my voice better? And even if you can't hear my voice, don't let that ruin your experience. Keep staring at the kaleidoscope and let it draw you. Thank you, everyone. And apologies for the issues with with the audio. Um, so, Marina, how did you feel about that? Did you have any thoughts? You're on mute.
Sorry. Since the beginning, I have a strong sensation feeling into my solar plexus chakra,
Mm-hmm.
and it still is there, last for till the end. And I think it worked a lot on my on this chakra of mine, which I know I have to strengthen. Thank you. It's
Of course.
very powerful.
Thank you. And as you said, the solar plexus, the chakra, there's a lot of creative energy there. That's where the ego, I think a lot of the egoic discussions about self-worth and all of that stuff resides, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So what was happening was the combined energy of the group was fighting against that limiting belief that you have, right?
yeah.
And and did you feel any elevated emotion while you were
I felt very, very sustained by the group and by the universe, by God. I felt very sustained.
perfect? Thank you. That's the idea because, and this was just something we did for 15 minutes in a 1.5 hour masterclass. But when we do it in a more sustained way, this has the potential for creating real lasting change. So I want to be cognizant of time. We have 14 minutes left on our scheduled time. If there's anybody else who would like to try it, feel free to raise your hand. We can do it for one more person, or we can slowly go towards concluding the session. So I'll give it my 10 seconds to see if anybody else is interested. 5, 4. Oh, there you are. Is that who's that? Let me see. Feel free to unmute yourself.
It's Heather.
Oh, Heather. Hi.
I came in
You're
on your
showing me as my name. So I got
I
confused.
know it's like you're not having a schizophrenic moment, I promise. Let me help
That
you.
is so funny. I'm like, who is this person? That's just my name. All right, Heather, do you mind coming on camera if you're able to?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Right.
Here we go. Great.
Oh, there you are. Hi, Heather.
Hey, Samik, how are you?
Yeah, you're a much better looking version of me.
Just the yin and the yang of life.
Right. All righty. Okay, so let's do this. So, we've already done this once with Marina. So do you want to talk about anything specific that you're trying to manifest, and if there's any limiting
Sure.
belief, and then we can craft your manifestation right here live together.
Sure. So I want to manifest a fully coherent team. It's a resonance technology team. So manifesting a fully coherent resonance technology team. So that's what I'm manifesting. And any of the self-limiting beliefs are, it's been a year and a half. We haven't launched yet. It's been a year and a half. There's been a lot of misunderstandings and assumptions and miscommunications and less than full coherence.
Within the team, amongst your team. Got it.
Yeah. Lots of good-hearted people, but just I know we could be exceptionally high performing and coherent. Coherence, is that a real defining quality to ensure we are high performing, and it is yet to manifest.
Okay. All right. So let's put this into words. Heather has a fully coherent.
High performing resonance technology team.
So, team. Anything else? Any outcomes based on this? So you have this team that creates something beautiful.
Sure. We have successfully launched the resonance products, resulting in both multi-million-dollar sales as well as tens of thousands of lives improved. Something in that zone.
Okay. Creating. Let's see if I have enough space. Let's see. Multi. I don't think we'll have enough space. We are gonna run out of space because I put 100-word limit on this. Fully create team. So shall we just say mm,
Well,
team?
hold on.
Yeah,
Fully coherent, is a fully coherent, high performing,
team.
yeah, but
Or you want to specifically
I
mention?
think you could just put it as another descriptor, multi-million-dollar
Okay,
resonance technology team.
got it.
Try that.
Okay. Multi.
Resonance technology team. That should fit.
Just one word. Tech team.
Sure.
How does that sound?
Yeah, just one other element I want to put in, just the real outcomes for people. Multi-million-dollar.
I think this is good feedback for me too. I should probably increase the number of characters allowed because
Yeah,
you know.
it's okay though. Gets you precise, multi-million-dollar. And yeah, I would. Wellness generating.
Okay,
Maybe
hang
we'll
on.
put after the multi-million-dollar one more descriptor of wellness generating. Will that fit?
Let's see. Wellness generating. Yes.
Resonance tech team.
I don't
Will that
think the
work?
resonance tech team will fit. So shall we so we can reduce the from fully coherent, we can make that coherent. That might
How about resonance team? Will that fit?
okay, yes. Shall we make this coherent instead of fully coherent, or do you want fully coherent there?
Mm,
All right, let's see what it looks like.
yeah. If resonance tech team is fits, then we're good.
Multi-million-dollar wellness generating. No, we only have three more characters left. So
Ah,
we are at 97 now.
you could put a dollar sign for the word dollar.
Hmm. Okay. I think still we have 8. So we have
Rezo team. A Rezo team.
no
Just Rezo team.
Rezo.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
You can take out your brackets, all the
No, the
brackets.
brackets aren't affecting. Okay,
Mm.
let's try. Let's try. All right, Heather has a. I'm just gonna rewrite this a little bit. Has a fully coherent wellness generating um
Multi-million-dollar Rezo team.
resonance. I think we can.
Yeah, you took out high performance, so it should fit.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, yeah. How does that sound?
Sure.
Yes. Heather has a fully coherent, wellness generating, multi-million dollar resonance tech team. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So let's repeat the process again, and let's imagine that Heather has the limiting beliefs that Heather has are just her beliefs, and they are not real. And let us do this one more time for Heather. Okay, and I will not be saying anything, so don't try to hear my voice because there's something wrong with the mixing. I will fix it later on.
Does the app usually say the words out loud? Is that what it's doing?
No, I was saying on the mic, as a like in live, but I am recording some with standard, like with my voice as well. So there's going to be a guided as well, which will have my voice in it. But here right now for the live session, I was trying to speak live, but some of my mic and the audio from the
Oh,
app
yeah.
was not mixing
Oh,
properly.
it's all as well.
Yeah, that's the reason. Okay, let's do this. I'll see you guys on the other side. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Heather, for this opportunity. Any thoughts of what you felt? How did you find this experience?
Thank you, Samek. Very interesting. The first third was definitely a sense of dropping more into alpha theta. The mid one, I could really feel that dilemma of I can believe it for other people more than myself. And it's this sort of annoying, human dynamic, I think, for most of us. So I would read the phrase and I found myself seeing linearly how I could make it happen, like whether we discuss working agreements in the team, we, reduce our assumptions, whatever. So I was active, but less in just the believing space in the middle third. And so your insight of we can have zero doubt for another person. And I've very much experienced that when I'm a healer, for example. It's just I see their ideal body blueprint, boom, and I send it to the infinite field and I see them receiving it back. It's like without a doubt. And so I was riding on the mid third on other, imagining that it was Laura or Monica or David or Nati or Genevieve who had this mission, this goal, as opposed to myself. And I could feel myself flipping into that zero doubt, 100% certainty. It was a bit of a back and forth though. And then the third was actually really helpful, as much as it was quote unquote generic affirmations. They were assistive in me feeling where my wiring was getting in my way. Like I trust again and again. So it's like, oh my God, I've trusted so many times in the last year and a half. Okay, go up to bat, trust again and again. As an example of the affirmations were quite helpful in it. So it was an interesting, three-part process and really, yeah, interesting to road test for sure. I'd love to hear from you what it would sound like, the whole experience in your mind when it's fully operational. Would there be a voice speaking it back to you? Would people feed in images of their dreams? What's your sort of full image of it? Vision.
So we can actually add images right now. If you had an image or if I had your picture, I could have actually added that right now. And we've done that, in previous sessions when somebody previously sent a picture of hers and we plug that in. Uh, so just before I go there, I just wanted to reflect back on what you said. I
Mm,
think that's so true. But when I was doing this exercise with you and I was looking at your vision and your manifestation goal, I had zero doubt that you would be able to achieve this, right? Because I do not share your limiting beliefs. Now, if I had my own manifestation, I would have 100 million limiting beliefs about myself. But I did not share any limiting beliefs that you had. And your limiting beliefs are just thoughts and beliefs that have come from your past experience working with the team. But that's not reality. That's definitely not reality, right? So all so for me that was very easy to believe. And this three-part experience, I just wanted to get a little deeper. The first part is the integration, and not the integration, that's the grounding, where you're kind of just gradually getting into the alpha theta state. And what I'm working on is a soundtrack where I will have my voice in there as well, and that'll be clear, right? But rather than that, for the live sessions, I actually want to do it live because I can feel the energy and I can adjust myself. So I'm figuring out how to adjust my audio settings so that the my voice as well as the audio from the app comes clear, right? Because I think with my voice in the previous session somehow I was able, it was not perfect, but still I was able to figure out how the voice was audible, and it was much more powerful because then that voice can guide you much more clearly. The second part, which is where your manifestation is right there, is the manifestation phase where we are focusing specifically on your goal and your desire. The third part is kind of what I call it the integration phase, where you have these generic affirmations. They are not specific to your manifestation, but they are still relevant and they still resonate. And that's when you're kind of coming back down and, just kind of integrating the experience that you had during the manifestation phase. And in my experience, those words, they help that process of integration. So that's kind of the three-part process.
And
And
could
and yeah,
someone
so
customize the words in the third part?
I'm sorry.
Could someone customize the words in the third part?
Sure. Yeah, that's absolutely possible.
And
Um,
could there be a voice? Is there a voice coming where a voice will speak the second part and the third part out? If you want
not
to have
right.
your eyes closed?
Not right now, but that's a good idea. I could include that as a future feature. But right now, the voice doesn't necessarily speak out the affirmation. And the idea of this app, so the app is something that I was developing different separately, and I got the idea of including this as a facilitator for the manifestation circle. But the app essentially, like here, if you see, you can actually add up to 10 manifestations. So the idea of this app is if I have, uh, most of my experience with there are lots of apps out there, where you have an abundance manifestation and you have these kind of visuals, but it's not easy to customize it for my own specific needs. I can't type something very specific. Like you have this very specific goal of a coherent, well-performing, multi-million dollar resonance technology team. You won't find this anywhere, right? It's very specific. So that was the idea for me for the app, where you can just add a specific picture. Maybe you have your team picture, an ideal, wonderful event that you had with your team, and you put that picture right there, right, along with this. And then you have this experience, and you can have up to 10 of these, right? And you can select your music, click start, and you can create your own meditation within minutes or seconds, even, right? So that's the idea. Eventually, I want to incorporate AI into this, and that's where you can actually AI can help you create your own manifestations. If you give it some direction, it can give you suggestions and create the manifestation, and then it can actually speak it out to you as well. Because the reason for me not including the speech at this point is because it's all very custom, right? So I can have speech at the beginning where it's my pre-recorded voice or somebody else's pre-recorded voice, and I could have it at the end where there's pre-recorded voice with the specific affirmations, because right now the affirmations are not custom. They're generic affirmations. But whatever is custom, it's difficult to add voice right now. But that's a future feature set that we're working on. But that's how it
Excellent.
is right now.
Well done. It's a great launch into the interactive manifesting world.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So the app is something that I'm working on separately, and I'm thinking of maybe starting having a Kickstarter and whatnot. So some because we to take it to the next level. Right now, that's why I'm not releasing it. I'm controlling it because I know what works and what doesn't work, and it's gonna break if something happens. People play around with it. But I am planning to launch it, and for that, I need some more resources, for some more expertise and whatnot. So, but the app is going to be something separate. But I thought that it would be a good opportunity to introduce the app and use this because as part of the manifestation circle experience, because it helps in that process.
For sure, interactive, and the whole energy of the team or the group is with you.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad you had a good experience. So I know we are well over our time now, so I will end. I'll stop the app right now. I'm going to stop the share for a second and go back to the deck. Just give me 1 minute. Bear with me for a second here. And let me share my screen again. And let me know if you can see the presentation. Can you see the presentation? Okay, awesome. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about. This is the last thing. So what I'm thinking about, so this was just a taste. It's just about an hour and a half. We were able to do it for two of you, and we just got a kind of a taste. So the idea is, I'm creating a 3-week program where we will actually go much deeper into some of the concepts, and we will have a lot more opportunities to do this for each of us, because I think this one opportunity for two of you, you had the experience and you got the idea that this can actually be transformative, but repetition is the key and also more opportunities. And as if you do the second time, then maybe you might want to change something a little bit based on the experience that you had today. So the idea is to have a 3 week program. I'm starting on June 3rd. So that's the idea. 3 weeks from June 3rd. So it's probably going to go until the end of June. 3 sessions per week. So that's about 9 sessions total. And and we will just kind of go week one. We will get to know each other, and it'll be the idea is, right now none of us really know each other very well, but the idea is the more we know each other, the more we can connect with each other, we can empathize with each other. The energy is that much stronger. The emotional connection is that much stronger. So the energy available for manifestation is just going to grow the more we connect with each other. So the idea is for these 3 weeks to create this cohort where we get to know each other, we get to know each other, we get into breakout rooms, we understand each other, what we are trying to achieve, and then we bring it together and really supercharge the whole manifestation process as a group. So that's the idea. I will send out more details, to you as because you have registered, so you will get more details about this, and then we will take it from there. So that's the whole idea of the manifestation circle and the program that I'm planning to launch. Okay, so that's where we are. I think we're at the end. It's almost 2 hours. Thank you so much for bearing with me for almost 2 hours. Anybody has any questions, thoughts, comments, feedback, monologues?
Just to thank you for this opportunity again, Samik.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you for raising your hand and for volunteering. And I'm just going through the chats. Yes, yes, yes,
Thank
of
you,
course.
Samik.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Genoveva. Yes, you were there. You were there for the first one. I know you had
Yes,
a.
I was there. You used the picture in the first one.
I did. I did.
Yes,
Yes.
but it's very good. It's really, really nice. It's
Mm.
good. And you'll get through with all this miscommunication between speaking and the song, but they're really nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, I'll fix that for the next one for sure. But it was good feedback from all of you,
Yes.
and thank you for bearing with me. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I will let you
Thank
go,
you
and
again.
thank you so much. And yeah, I'll send you guys more details about the training program, about the 3 week program if you're interested. And hopefully, I'll see some of you there. Take care.
It will be Samik, sorry, it will be possible to see also this registration. I know the other one you put on the group.
You
I
mean
don't know.
the recording? The recording?
Yes, record.
Yes, yes. I will share the recording for this one as well.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.